Do you want a qualified and marketable specialist in the ICT industry in the shortest possible time? Then the accredited programs at Vector Technology Institute are ideal for you. No longer do you need to complete 4 years of study before becoming qualified. Our diploma and degree programs allow you to earn international A+ and Network Plus certifications while you study. Call us at 929-3435 or visit our website at vector.edu.jm. Registration now in progress for day and evening classes.
Your career pathway as an ICT professional leads you through the 3-track technician certificate at Vector Technology Institute. Become a computer service technician, a computer network technician, or a network security technician, or allow you to progress from one level to the next. Enhance your credentials by sitting the internationally recognized CompTIA certification exams. Classes are available online. Call Vector Tech at 929-3435-6. Registration now in progress.
Avoid the inconvenience of power outages and become energy independent. Vector Technology Institute, the leader in solar energy training, now registering for the Solar System Installer Certification course, which will give you the skills needed to install solar systems for homes and offices, while providing the opportunity for an exciting career as a certified solar systems installer. Call Vector Tech at 929-3435. The course is internationally certified by the Electronics Technician Association.
Do you have a passion for web page design or computer graphics but don't know where to get started? Vector Technology Institute has the solution for you. In just 2 months, you can learn how to design, build, upgrade, and maintain professional websites for companies on the internet. In just 2 months, you can also learn how to create professional graphic designs for business cards, posters, t-shirts, websites, and billboards. Create an opportunity for yourself. Call Vector Technology Institute at 929-3435.
ICT professionals have begun their programming careers by learning how to create mobile apps. Join them in this exciting and lucrative industry by enrolling in our mobile apps development program. In just 5 months, create apps for Android devices. Use the Java programming language. Gain the knowledge to submit your projects to the Google Play Store. Call Vector Technology Institute at 929-3435.
Are you ready to advance your cybersecurity career? CompTIA's cybersecurity pathway will get you there. You'll prove to employers that you are the best candidate for the job, having the skills needed to protect their organization from cyber attacks and threats. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to get from point A to point B in your cybersecurity career. You've asked for an easier way to map it out, and in this video, we've simplified that process for you. Follow this pathway and we'll guide you through the real skills and knowledge you need to get the job done, get promoted, and make a difference in the cybersecurity landscape. Not to mention, you'll also make some good money along the way. Here we go. Get your foot in the door with CompTIA Security Plus, the first step on your cybersecurity career path. Security Plus is the leading global certification that proves you have the core security skills to do the job. Things like monitoring and securing hybrid environments, or identifying, analyzing, and responding to security events. These hands-on skills will open the door to more opportunities. As you move from IT support into cybersecurity, you should have 2 years of experience under your belt. In an entry-level cybersecurity role, you can earn anywhere from $85,000 to $95,000 a year. More than 600,000 IT pros have earned Security Plus, having learned how to problem solve a wider variety of today's complex security issues. Your cybersecurity career begins with Security Plus. To move up to the next level in cybersecurity, your next step will be to become proficient in more specialized skills. Learn through CompTIA's Pentest Plus or CISA Plus certifications. At this level, you should have at least 4 years of experience. According to CyberSeek, intermediate level positions can range from $91,000 to $104,000 a year. CompTIA Pentest Plus is ideal for cybersecurity professionals responsible for testing networks to make sure they're secure. Pentest Plus will give you all the hands-on skills required for vulnerability and penetration testing. You'll have the required skills to customize assessments, report findings, and recommend mitigation strategies. Pentest Plus will help you stay one step ahead of the bad actors. Next up, The CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst, or CISA Plus certification, will teach you how to enable continuous security monitoring and how to respond to incidents. CISA Plus is the only certification on the market that will give you the hands-on skills necessary to leverage threat detection techniques and to identify vulnerabilities. CISA Plus will help take your threat hunting skills to the next level. Finally, as you move up to the advanced cybersecurity level, you have CAS Plus. This is equivalent to at least 5 to 10 years of general hands-on IT experience. Advanced level salaries can range from $99,000 to $131,000 a year. CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner, or CAS Plus, is for IT pros with advanced knowledge, but who wish to keep working on the technical side of cybersecurity. Unlike other certifications, CAS Plus covers both security architecture and engineering. This means that you will have the skills to assess enterprise cyber readiness and design and implement the proper solutions for your organization, such as Zero Trust. Lead and improve the overall cybersecurity resiliency against the next attack with CAS Plus. All 4 cybersecurity certifications fulfill Department of Defense 8140-8570 compliance, which maps directly to the standards that ensure all military departments and defense agency jobs can effectively identify and stop cyber attacks. CompTIA holds one of the strongest positions in the foundational IT and security markets, which helps you learn the specific cybersecurity skills necessary to take you from beginning to end. Study with the official CompTIA content. Now that you know the steps you need to take to move up the ranks through cybersecurity, head over to CompTIA.org/cybersecurity to learn more and upskill your cyber skills.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. All right. My audience, okay.
Good evening. Good evening.
Okay, great. All right, so good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to Vector Technologies Cybersecurity Information Session. Another installment in the series of information session that we use here at Vector, not only as a part of the marketing ploy to put our programs out there to prospectives, but also as a means of getting the information in a more intimate manner to our prospective students and the wider public, including, of course, our internal stakeholders, the students that are already here. So this information session, this cybersecurity information session, will be done under the theme, Your Digital Armor, exploring why cybersecurity matters, right? My name is Andre Powell, and I'm going to be your moderator for this evening's proceedings. Let me use this opportunity to make special mention and welcome to a few persons. First things first, we have with us our President, Dr. Wade Marr, which is a part of the presenters panel, and Mrs. Karen Marr Bruce, our Executive Director. And I believe I'm seeing Mr. Michael Giordini, who is a member of our board here at Vector. And special mention and welcome to the speakers that are going to be participating this evening. In no specific order, we have Mrs. Trisha McLean Rowe, and we have Mr. Dane Daly, as well as we have Mr. Lloyd Brown, and we have as well as member of, let us call him alumni member, because usually whenever time we present these information sessions, we don't just want to give the information to you just speaking of the credentials of the course or the weight of the course or anything like that, but also staying true to the mantra of transforming education into careers. Of course, we usually like to get a student's perspective, right? A graduate that has passed through our program, speaking as to how studying at Vector would have prepared them in their professional space and how they're actually working. And of course, we have in that capacity Mr. Jason Donaldson. So we'll be hearing from these persons this evening. So just to give you a quick overview as to what we'll be capturing, or before we go there, tonight's session will help you to understand the cybersecurity threat landscape and, exploring why cybersecurity matters and the steps you can take to better protect yourself, your data, and your organization at large. So we'll also share how VTI's program, not only the advanced cybersecurity diploma that we have here, but also our specialization within the Bachelor's of Science in Information and Communications Technology with cybersecurity specialization can help you to advance your career in this fast-growing field. So again, as part of the overview, so we'll start with a deep dive into the cybersecurity landscape and the most common cyber threats within the industry. And that, of course, will be tackled by our guest speaker. And then we'll hear from, again, the past students' perspective. And we'll introduce the specialization and the cybersecurity program here at Vector, right? Including certifications that are on offer and the real-world application thereof. And finally, of course, we're going to wrap up the insights with some career advancement opportunities. There's nothing that we do here at Vector without focusing on how you're able to advance your career, building on the foundation of the education that you would have come to learn at Vector. And of course, after all is said and done, we're going to be having an open floor for question and answer session. So what I'm going to do at this point is ask each and every one to keep your mics muted. If needs be, if you're able to just get like a piece of paper or a notepad or something that you're able to jot down any notes that you gather from the session, as well as if you have any questions for the respective presenters, that you make a note of them. And of course, at the end, when we have that one general question and answer session, then you're able to post your questions accordingly, right? So without further ado, then of course, we're going to get into the meat of matter, because really and truly, time is against us. And we want to keep it really spicy and concise, delivering information that, of course, we know that can help you moving forward. So usually, whenever time you have a seminar or any sort of webinar or any forum, as a discussion forum, and you are basically graced with the presence of a guest speaker, usually you have some speakers that would have preceded the guest speaker, and then, of course, then you present the guest speaker. But we're going to do it a little bit different this evening. And it's not because of any fear of anything. We just want to get straight into the meat of matter. And every single speaker this evening will have great meat for you to take away, right? So without any further ado, what I'm going to do is call upon our quality assurance manager, Ms. Monisha Duncan, to make the introduction for our guest speaker, who will be our first speaker for this evening, right? So Ms. Duncan, please so do me the honors, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And now let me get into a brief introduction of our specially invited guest here, Mr. Dean Daly. Now, as an experienced cybersecurity professional with over a decade of expertise in network and security design, Mr. Daly holds various certifications within his field. He excels in assisting organizations by solving their challenges and, of course, achieving their business goals. He is an avid hobbyist and passionate about people-centric problem solving, finding creative solutions, building long-term trust and relationships. He is also, I've been told, a mentor. So if it is that anyone here needs someone to mentor them in the profession as they explore the educational aspect, I'm sure Mr. Daly would be more than happy to assist you along that journey. Mr. Daly currently holds the position of Customer Service Manager through the USA and English Caribbean sector at the Integrated Security Operations SaaS Solution Company, Lumi Technologies. Without further ado, I hand over the mic to you, Mr. Daly, as you present
Right.
your info. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Right, just a few corrections. Thanks for the intro. Dane Daly, I'm a customer success manager at Lumu Technologies, and it's a security operations company. In my former life, I help with security, network security at various aspects of a customer's network. But thank you again for allowing me to serve as your speaker today and allowing me to share my knowledge and expertise and experience, specifically locally in Jamaica as a cybersecurity professional. Some things I cannot say out directly due to NDAs, but I've been intimately involved in various industries, including government, private sector, military, police, you name it. I also found it very useful to help other persons like yourself, where the mentorship came in, to help them guide and streamline their direction when it comes to cybersecurity and making a career in this country. So I'm very privileged and I'm honored to be your speaker today. So my story, a lot of things that were not mentioned. I'm a bit hobbyist. I do, play golf, I like fishing, but also I'm a father. So, and as a professional, not only I'm a citizen as well. So a lot of things I do in the industry also complements my experience here, like it's NIDS or anything with the investigation. It affects me as well as the organization. So it's also very personal. So I take a lot of my work very personal. So quick one on my story. So I've always been interested in technology ever since I was a child, in high school, from the days of Napster and LimeWire, even your computer's cancer in the name of shared media and music. And in the process of understanding the technologies, I learned that people get paid to do a lot of these things, and there begins my journey. Now, it became so broad and wide. You would have to develop some form of specialization somewhere. Unfortunately, uh, there was not a lot of guidance there. Right? It's very close, and not many cybersecurity or IT professionals could articulate their journey very well unless they moved on to the management level. So most of the guys that run the large companies now that were very, very technical, they're not as technical nowadays like Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, and Bill Gates and Zuckerberg. They now have to be managing people and providing strategy and direction for the organization to allow it to be profitable. So they have jumped off that train. And you're going to see that some of you guys who, as you move on in your careers and in direction, you will then hop off the purely technical trail and become managers, founders, CEOs, and executives as well. While some persons, as your one of your advertisements showed, you'll be allowed to stay in the technical sphere, right? There's a lot of certification on technical sphere. Now, what are the opportunities that are here? There's over 3.5 million, the last time I checked, 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs that are unfilled worldwide, and about 5.5 million cybersecurity professionals now. So call it, there's 5.5 million that is currently occupied jobs and 3.5 that is not there. And that number is not going to get any lower. Why is this important? Cybersecurity is a part of the bigger picture of IT. IT is expanding. Every piece of technology is expanding. And why is it expanding? People need to do things easier and more efficiently, or coming up with new ways of doing things. And by extension, these things need to be secured. Now, cybersecurity is technical to you when you learn it, but as you go into the business field, you have to realize there is a totally new definition to cybersecurity and even technology. But I'm going to focus on cybersecurity. Now, to define cybersecurity in the business sense, we have to think about who it matters to, what matters to the organization, what they're trying to protect, and why. So by extension, cybersecurity is the people, the processes, and the technologies that are employed to protect assets and investments. Listen again, cybersecurity are the people, that's you, or will be you, the processes, the policies, procedures, the frameworks like NIST and ISO, and the technologies, your firewalls, the endpoint protection, the zero trust, etc., that are employed, and I use that word very specifically because you want to employ the people, employ the technologies, employ the policies and procedures that are employed to protect assets. And assets are not just material stuff that you can buy and replace. Assets are the data, and the data is about people. So it's first thing that shows here is the people. Data is about people. Cybersecurity are protecting the assets. Assets are around people. Assets that are the importance, that have some form of emotional, spiritual, monetary value. And investments are the things that people use to make money. And they all want that to be protected. That's where me and you come in. The knowledge, skills, expertise, or wisdom is what allows us to be very proficient. And the more proficient you are, the more money you can gain. And as you can see, it's a journey. You need a couple of years of experience doing this thing. And unfortunately, what you learn today or what you have learned, and when you get certified, the learning doesn't stop there. Unfortunately, the learning does not stop there. You will have to be a perpetual student. You will always have to be learning. And why do you have to always be learning? What are the threats that are out there? Now, in Jamaica, the ones that I've seen mostly and that most people are familiar with, one is ransomware. Ransomware is essentially a set of techniques on attack that infiltrates, steals data, and then holds it at ransom by encrypting and demanding money from the victims to gain back their data. So ransomware is one of the most obvious and short-term and also immediate indication of compromise, and the implication and impact could be dire. We're looking in recent times, Pika and RGB got ransomware or got cyber attack, based on what's in the paper. And essentially what you can imagine when how much data may or may not have been exfiltrated and be held at ransom. And then the other type of cyber attack is phishing. We'll all use emails on our phones everywhere you can think of. We bring it down to scamming, but phishing specifically around using the email, which is phishing. Then you have phishing using the QR codes. I really don't trust QR codes publicly. Then you have the phishing or scamming or chopping the line, voice, using a voice to circumvent the human emotion and human firewalls to protect themselves from exfiltrating information that they shouldn't. There is smishing using WhatsApp or any form of text messaging or messaging service to exfiltrate information or cause you to do something that would not be in your best interest. So that's a phishing perspective, what we call in general social engineering. Then we have another common one is information stealing. Information stealing. So essentially what that is a piece of malware or malware group or malicious actor that infiltrates your organization to steal information, most likely to resell that information on the dark web. Cybercrime is a $1 trillion industry. And that includes not only the hackers themselves, but the cost to remediate and defend against and recover from a cyber attack. $1 trillion industry. It's the third largest economy in the world, right? So it's no joke. It's a lot of money involved and a lot of money to pass around. So I'm sure everybody will be finding their jobs, and I'll also give you some ideas of how best to be the best candidate for these jobs. Because it's not only the hard skill. I'm going to have a quick word around that as well. So information stealing is another huge one. And then last but not least, the most common is DDoS attack or mining. This is where you're infiltrated and the hacker or the malicious actor installs code on your machines to use those resources to mine or attack another organization. So when you're mining Bitcoins, right? Crypto mining. So we're using millions of computers, cameras, printers, etc., to mine or use their resources, their memory, their CPU, their storage, to use their processing power to create Bitcoin on these hackers' behalf. Or they can also use those computers, millions of cameras, computers, etc., to attack another industry, another location, another country. Do it using a process called distributed denial of service. That means that everyone is trying to come through the same door at once. Imagine petabytes of data. These cameras nowadays that don't have cybersecurity embedded or they're not easily updated can be redirected. Now these cameras have 4K and 8K. So imagine 8 billion 8K cameras, right? High definition cameras, sending all that video feeds one location, thereby overwhelming that system. That is a distributed denial of service. Most persons don't have more than 100 megabits per second of internet. So imagine even if you have a 1 gig, that's not going to help. We're looking at terabytes or more of data channeled towards one single person or one single organization, and totally disabling and crippling that service or that system overall, right? And this has been documented. The largest was 6 terabytes. I think there was another one that came out. I don't quite have the number, but the last one I heard was 6 terabits per second DDoS attack. Now imagine this is NASDAQ, Wall Street, hospitals, every industry that you can think of. Every industry that you can think of uses technology to grow, optimize, or scale their business, right? So those are the assets and the investments that we're talking about. They're going to invest in the people and the processes and the technologies to make more money. And these things have value, both implicit and implicit value, as well as financial, physical, monetary value. And they buy these things to gain more money. These things need to be protected in one way or the other by way of people, processes, and technologies. Right? Now, everything you can think of, including your school, right? And you and the main stakeholders of the school are you, the students and prospective students and past students that need access to the data and the resources to allow you to learn and do your work proficiently and effectively. And of course, hopefully pass all your exams, get certified, and then be out on your way to seeking employment. Now, to me, that's the harder part. As much as there's so many jobs that are out there, the space is extremely competitive. There are more people getting graduating than there are enough people to get the same jobs for, and they're battling for a lot of money. As you can see, most of the money that you heard in the presentations is mostly American and other parts of the world, but you can get the very few opportunities in Jamaica to get that kind of salary. But you must be extremely proficient and efficient, knowledgeable around that. So I am sure as learned individuals, you have almost perfected the hard skills, the skills that says, hey, I know what I'm doing. I can see something identified. I know what next to do. But on top of that, you need soft skills. As I always say, I'll tell my mentees, the people with the money do not understand the bells and whistles. You need to apply your knowledge or translate your knowledge into what matters to that individual, what matters to that organization. You need to be able to present and articulate yourself and essentially sell yourself as the best candidate for the job. So I have been blessed and successful in doing the same, in that same thing. And some of the things that have brought me so far in my success is my willingness to serve others, my willingness to serve, always willingness to help. Most of my experience is not documented in IT because I've helped so much and I've done so many things. There's so many things I've done that professionally and they can't be accounted for on a resume. But stuff like this I won't be putting on a resume. This is just my service to help others, and it as I can attest that serving others has served me well, including my mentorship, including sharing my knowledge and experience in the current landscape with individuals such as yourself. When I go to the various events, speaking with the, the, the vivacious young minds that I interact with, see how much they want to learn and become citizens, great citizens of their country. But serving others have served me well. And again, this is a privilege. So, but you have to understand where soft skills come in. The people that need the help do not know what cybersecurity is. The doctor's offices, the some government agencies, the banks, the loan organizations, the insurance companies, you name it, the schools, everywhere you think of. Once you use a computer, they need cybersecurity. They may not have the budgets, but they suffer the same types of attacks and they have the same types of vulnerabilities and risk as the larger companies. The impact might be different or the same from a monetary perspective, but rest assured, they're going to get ransomware. Rest assured, people are going to steal data from them. Rest assured, they're going to get phished and spammed and scammed. Rest assured, everything that you can think of, they will also experience. So I would say don't worry about, because you need to get the experience. Don't focus too much on the big companies and the big monies, because if you don't have the years of experience that is required, you simply just can't get it. Unless, which is another thing I want to speak of, you need to networking with the right people, join the various organizations, ask for help, seek mentorship, seek to mentor others. After you leave this organization and many others that are here that have been working in the field for so many years, you might think that you are not at a level that you can mentor others, but I have learned in my life that there's more people that want to be at your level than you think, than the levels that you want to be at. So there are less people above me that I want to be like than the persons that haven't reached my level. And there are hundreds of thousands of persons, including yourself, that have not reached the level that I am, that want to reach and possibly surpass where I am, but they're taking the steps. And there are a lot less people that I want to be like. Help others. Each one teach one, help other persons, teach other persons, guide other persons, take them on your way, do the mentorships. It will reinforce what you know. It will help you to be better leaders and communicators, because again, some people will be technical and some people need to manage and support and supervise and lead and be founders and CIOs, etc. But they need to have some form of knowledge, but they also need to translate the bits and bytes into business needs, business wants, business goals. And that is and cybersecurity is what protects all of that at any point in time. Wherever at the part of that chain, cybersecurity. Once there's a computer involved, once there's people, process, and technologies involved, most likely cybersecurity will be involved in one way or another. So soft skills are very important. You need to be able to speak. So be a perpetual student. After you've done this, I have to be learning every single day. There's new information that comes out. What was secure yesterday is not secure today. What was secure a minute ago is no longer secure right now. So you always constantly have to be, it's not for the weak. You have to be especially eager to learn and especially eager to solve problems. Be a problem solver. because once you have any piece of technology, you're gonna need there's gonna eventually be a problem. You're gonna be knocking on wood until something happens, but we have to assess risk, and there are different um, professions in cybersecurity that you can explore, and you can jump between one or the other, whichever depends on which one suits your needs best. Don't just look at it for the money. If you're good at it, rest assured the money will come. I can attest to that. I focus on increase my value, my knowledge, skills, my health, my wisdom in cybersecurity, serving others, and rest assured I am more valuable as an individual. A diamond or gold doesn't have to ask for a price. It is inherently more valuable, and people are willing to pay for that. Right? I hope that resonates with someone. And of course, you need to be able to be a great communicator. At least start off by being a good communicator. You need to be able to express yourself effectively, that the people with the money that you want to get their money from are willing and capable are willing to give you this money, but you have to market yourself and sell yourself as the best candidate and ensure that once you solve the problem, you need to be able to articulate it in writing, in speech, over email, expressions, you name it. So in this case, I highly recommend, and this is a quote I get from Mr. Jim Rohn, work more on yourself than you do at your job. Invest more in yourself, like what you're doing now. Buy the books, go to the seminars, join the groups, invest in yourselves, increase your value, solve problems, help people. There's always something out there that needs to be done. There's a lot of opportunities out there. There are those people that are more willing to work and express themselves and invest in the knowledge, skills, and expertise required to get those jobs, right? Work more on yourself than you do in your work. And don't be afraid to do more than you're paid for, right? It's another one by Napoleon Hill. Do more than what you're paid for, and you'll be paid more for what you do, right? If you only do STEAM or becoming a SOC analyst, or you're only looking at a firewall, you'd have to spend the time now learning about the firewall, learn about another like endpoint protection or EDR, endpoint detection and response. You have to take time to learn about this, but you have no experience in it, so I won't hire you. However, if you're working with an EDR person, you're learning at the same time, you're probably going to school like a Vector to say, hey, get certified in it. By the time you're done learning, you're essentially more qualified, and you have what we call verifiable experience. Like someone can vouch for your experience and your help, and the right people see and know that you have done this and this is your work. You put that on your resume and you're good as gold. So hard skills, the application of these skills, the proficiency of these skills over a period of time, and a continuous learning, because with the advent of AI, which I might add will not be replacing human beings, it is fast but not smart. So it will not be replacing human beings, but it is a tool that is also being used by these bad actors. A lot of the attacks that I spoke about earlier that are most common in Jamaica that I have seen personally are propagated by AI as well. The attack vectors are being searched for, stuff are being bought over AI. They're creating new phishing and spamming techniques, you name it. You need to learn that as well so you can defend. So it's like a hopscotch between the hackers and the bad actors and the blue team, which is us, that are trying to defend the assets and investments of the people and organizations against these types of cyber attacks. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I think my time is up. I could go on forever about cybersecurity, but I just wanted to share the little knowledge and experience I can in the little time I have. I hope this has resonated with you. And you look at cybersecurity not as a skill only to look cool against bad actors, but essentially protect assets, protect investments, save lives, right? Because some of this actually saves and affects lives, and helping people or solving people's problems. And rest assured, you'll be paid top notch. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. My name is Dane Daly. Over to you, Mr. Moderator.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Daly, for that eye-opening presentation, informative at the same time. So as I said, we're just going to keep the wheels turning. And at this point in time, I'm going to call back on Miss Duncan to do another small introduction, this time of Mr. Jason Donaldson, our student or alumni representative, so to speak. So again, Ms. Duncan.
All right, thank you, Andre. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce Jason because he was in my batch when we did our program here at Vector. All right, so without further hesitation, Jason is an emerging cybersecurity professional with over 16 years of distinguished service in the Jamaica Defense Force. Having served as a senior system administrator with experience in network administration and systems management, he recently transitioned into the cybersecurity domain and now serves as the second in command of the newly established Cyber Response and Forensics Department at the JDF. This appointment reflects his expanding role from managing critical IT infrastructure within his organization to securing them. Jason completed the Advanced Diploma in Cybersecurity Analyst at Vector, which strengthened his foundation in digital forensics, network defense, and security operations. With this newfound knowledge, he was called upon to represent the JDF in the Cyber Shield event that was held in Washington, D.C., an international joint cybersecurity training exercise where he gained hands-on experience in threat analysis, SOC workflows, and collaborative defense strategies. He remains committed to advancing his expertise through continuous training, and here we hear that word again, mentorship, which is very important, and real-world application as he grows into a stronger cybersecurity leader. Jason, it's been a pleasure interacting with you, and I know Andover for you to share how you have been doing in this exciting role. Go ahead.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Donaldson, and just a slight correction to where I was. It was actually in Virginia that we had participated in the Cyber Shield amongst other partner nations to include Brazil, the United States of America, Poland, just to name a few. Now, my journey through the Advanced Diploma for Cybersecurity Analyst at Vector Technology Institute was both challenging and rewarding. The course provided me with a strong foundation in cybersecurity concepts, digital forensics, and network defense, while also sharpening my ability to think critically in high-pressure scenarios. One of the most valuable aspects of the program was its balance between theory and hands-on practice. I learned how to analyze threats, understand system vulnerabilities, and apply practical defense strategies using industry standard tools. Now, these exercises gave me a deeper appreciation for how cybersecurity professionals safeguard sensitive information and ensure the resilience of organizational networks. Now, the program also strengthened my discipline, problem-solving skills, and adaptability. At times, I was pushed outside my comfort zone, and Mr. Lightbrown can attest to that. He was mostly my chief instructor during the program. But this prepared me for the dynamic and ever-changing nature of the cybersecurity field. I also benefited from the collaborative environment, exchanging ideas with peers, Manisha, and learning from instructors who brought real world expertise in the classroom. Now, looking back at my time at Vector was somewhat revolutionary. It not only expanded my technical knowledge, but also confirmed my passion for protecting digital environment and pursuing a career in cybersecurity. This course has been a stepping stone and that equipped me with the confidence and skills to take a greater responsibility, such as my current role in the Jamaica Defense Force Cyber Response and Forensics Department. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Jason. Thank you. And so again, I usually, whenever time I get an opportunity to speak of basically how we operate here at Vector, I can say we because separate and apart from me moderating this session, I actually work at Vector as well. So whenever I get an opportunity to speak to the mantra that you heard me alluding to earlier regarding transforming education into careers, I can tell you that I am a product of that as well, just like how you would get a testimonial as such from Jason. So thank you very much for that, Jason, and for basically letting us know how your training has translated into your professional success. So next we're going to move on to, or going to take a closer look at the programs at Vector Technology Institute as it relates to cybersecurity, in particular, the specialization in the Bachelor's of Science degree in Information and Communications Technology, right? With a specialization in cybersecurity. Well, one of the specializations, cybersecurity, as well as the cybersecurity advanced diploma that you would have heard Jason spoke about just now. And basically how students are prepared for today's technology-driven challenges. So to come and present on this, we have Dr. Wade Marr, who is our president, as I mentioned before, here at Vector. And just to give you a brief synopsis as to the background of Dr. Marr. So Dr. Marr has been in the business of higher education for decades. He is the former academic dean of Herzing College in Atlanta, Georgia, and most recently he was among this year's recipients of the Prime Minister's Medal of Appreciation, which is given to educators who have served for a minimum of 15 years. He displayed exceptional service in the teaching profession and have shown evidence of community involvement, innovation, and creativity in service. Now, Dr. Marr has been involved in, policy building here in Jamaica as it relates to ICT overall. He's a past president of JITSA, which is a technological alliance of service providers in terms of IT here in Jamaica, and also a member of the Jamaica Computer Society. So without any further ado, then of course I'll ask Dr. Marr to come and make his presentation. Dr. Marr, floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much, Andre. And I want to say a special thank you to our guest speaker and Jason, of course, that is returned to serve. I'm going to use some slides, and I just hope that that I'll be able to share. So let me see if that is going to happen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And you guys are hearing me okay, right?
Pretty clear.
Okay, good. All right. So as Andre just mentioned, we're kind of segueing a bit and focusing on one of the programs here at Vector, and you can consider this almost like an official launch of the cybersecurity specialization within our Bachelor of Science in Information and Communication Technology. Of course, there are a couple other specializations that include software engineering, technology management, and digital infrastructure and telecom. But I'm going to be kind of focusing today on cybersecurity. All right, so here let me jump in. All right. I'm just trying to flick a couple of slides to see whether or not this thing is moving. That must, one sec. Stop sharing this and then try this again. All right. All right. All right. So, as usual, things work when you want them, don't want them to work. And when you want it to work, it's another thing. All right. All right. Let me just. I will have to stop the share for a second and close this down. Just give me a second. I may have to do this. If this is continuing, I'll just have to probably do this without the slides. But let me see. Take one last stab at it. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we go. All right, sorry about that glitch, as usual, technology. Okay, so in yesterday observer, we saw an article where it says according to a Fortinet Global Threat Landscape Report, Jamaica recorded over 34 million cyber attack attempts in just the first 6 months of 2025. Now, this is not just a statistic, it's a wake-up call, because these attacks are actually targeting our banks, our hospitals, our schools, and our government systems. And they threaten our privacy, our economy, and our sovereignty. So cybercrime is no longer a distant concern. It's actually here and it's growing. Now, although observing some in our society that should know better, you would not think that this is so much of a threat. And that attitude is part of the problem that we face. We need to take the issue of cybersecurity really serious, and as Dean had mentioned, we really need to be taking it almost personal. Now, why cybersecurity matters now? Because as we digitize more services, we expose more vulnerabilities. So cybersecurity is not just a technical niche, it's a national imperative. We need professionals who can detect threats, respond to incidents, and design secure systems from the ground up. So this specialization that we are now introducing is our response to that need. Education is our strongest defense. And we must move beyond awareness campaigns because this is much where a lot of focus is on. And we now need to move into the rigorous hands-on training. We must equip our students not just with theory, but with tools, certifications, and real-world experience. And that is what we are doing at Vector. Now, in looking a little more in depth, and Mr. Brown is going to take it even further than I am. We see this the cybersecurity track, and it's actually been designed to cover threat detection and mitigation, ethical hacking and penetration testing, network security and cryptography, risk management and compliance. And it's not just academic. Students are given the opportunity to earn globally recognized certifications like CompTIA Security Plus, CYSA Plus, Pentest Plus, and CAS Plus, all integrated into their coursework because of the specialization. Students are therefore expected to graduate with a degree and credentials that employers will trust. So what makes VTI different? Now, many of us who know of VTI recognize that we are one of the only colleges in the region to integrate these international certifications into our degree program. So, and of course, just the list that I just gave you are those that are included. So the important thing is that at the end of the day, you graduate with your academic degree, but you're also graduating with these industry certifications. Another big thing that in terms of our programs here and why these things make any kind of sense. The success, especially when you're looking and focusing on a national initiative, as cybersecurity right now is now positioned as something that, and you will even see an article today where one of the experts, Trevor Forrest, is asking and that we need a cybersecurity task force to deal with this whole thing. And we recognize that the success of any of these kind of national initiative hinges on strong strategic partnerships. At Vector Technology Institute, we firmly believe that meaningful collaboration among the private sector, government, and academia is essential when addressing matters of national importance such as this. We are proud to work alongside leading IT service providers such as Innovative, Corporate Solutions, Vertus Technology, and others, as well as global certification bodies including CompTIA, Cisco, and Mile2, and others as well. These partnerships enable us to integrate advanced cybersecurity labs and simulation environments into our programs, ensuring that our students gain practical, hands-on experience aligned with international standards. So VTI's vision for the future, and this is our outlook that we believe in. That we are going to be expanding or looking for regional expansion of cybersecurity training. We plan to host a number of seminars and certification boot camps. We expect to become the Caribbean cybersecurity education hub. So in what we are doing, our focus is not just looking just as a specialization, but it's almost like a movement that we are trying to trigger in terms of cybersecurity, the seriousness in which we see cybersecurity. Sometimes you hear a number of us looking at how we are dealing with cybersecurity in the general society, and our view in many instances that we are really not serious about some of these things. All right, so a call to action will be, to our students, specialize, lead, and protect. Right? To our industry partners, collaborate with us to secure Jamaica. To our policymakers, support education as a strategic defense. And together we can build a safer and smarter digital Jamaica. Although I'll leave you with a closing quote. Cybersecurity is not just a technical issue. It is a societal imperative. And I'm going to leave you. Even as I am leaving you with it, I'm almost saying that this is what we are saying after such a long time of trying to preach the gospel. But anyway, Vector is doing its part, and specialization now becomes at a pivotal time in this journey. All right, so I want to just thank you guys. I won't prolong, because I know that Mr. Brown will take you a little further into these programs. All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Mar, for that insightful presentation. Next thing, because the two presenters are almost like, correlated in terms of the topics, I'm just going to run into the other presenter, Mr. Lloyd Brown, of course, who is a lecturer here at Vector, as well as the head of the department for the area and the curriculum that is aligned to the cybersecurity specialization, right? So Mr. Brown holds a bachelor's of engineering from the University of Technology Jamaica, and has held certifications such as A+, Network+, Linux+, CCNA, Security+, Cisco, Cyber Ops, CYSA+. You see how many certifications? Great. He also holds an international diploma in teaching and training. He worked in telecommunications with the Jamaica telephone company. That is like, for those who are around long enough should know what I'm talking about. And then, of course, Mr. Brown served as in several capacities, including training officer and manager of technical training for all 14 Caribbean territories in which Lime operated. So Mr. Brown is currently the managing director of JBL Telecommunications and Information Technology Institute, a company that offers consulting and training services in the areas of telecommunications and information technology. Mr. Brown has been an instructor at Vector since 2008. It's my pleasure welcoming Mr. Brown as one of our esteemed members of faculty to present on the Advanced Diploma in Cybersecurity. Mr. Brown?
Thank you, Andre. Let me just go ahead and share my screen. I trust you're seeing my screen.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I thank you again, Andre, and appreciate the introduction. Welcome to all members who are on the platform. I do hope you have been hearing information that you find useful, and I hope I will be able to continue in the same vein to share more useful information with you. So today we are, as Dr. Mard indicated, doing what we could consider a launch of our Bachelor of Science specializations, and in particular, the one in cybersecurity. And I am tasked today to speak on a few things around the cybersecurity bachelor's program. So there are three areas that I will be speaking on. The experience that one could gain from pursuing this program, the certifications offered within the program, and how does or can your current experience align with the role you are doing now. And so how I will be tackling this is I will look specifically at the certifications and then dovetail from there into the experience that one could gain from participating in this program and the certifications involved, and then look at what role you could be in now and how the experience in the program could assist in your current role. And then I'll share a little around what is not necessarily here, but how this learning could then assist you to transition if that is something you're looking to do into the cybersecurity role. So with that said, let me now move into looking at the certifications. Now, within the cybersecurity specialization for the BSI CTA here at Vector, there are 6 certifications that are covered. The content for those 6 certifications are covered, and therefore the students will be able to sit those certifications having completed the knowledge and skills from their course content. I will take them one at a time. My current slide is showing 3 of those certifications, and my next slide I will look at the other 3. So the first one is the CompTIA A+. This is a 2-part certification where there are actually 2 exams that one would need to complete in order to earn this certification. Having completed these 2 exams, one is then in a position to hold roles such as a help desk support specialist. The content for this certification looks at areas such as mobile devices, networking, looking at working with computer hardware. It looks at areas such as virtualization, and take you into an introduction to cloud computing. And there is also emphasis, a very heavy emphasis on troubleshooting. So the experience gained here is one for an entry-level information technology professional, not necessarily cybersecurity, but then in order to be proficient in cybersecurity, one has to have a very keen understanding of the assets they're protecting, And this is why we start here looking at the devices and the hardware, the virtual assets that are likely going to be part of the organization's set of assets that a security professional would be tasked to protect. So that's the kind of experience that one would gain from this particular certification. Now, if we think about your current role, and we may have persons in varied roles within IT and even outside of IT. And if we take something like someone is currently doing help desk support job role, they the CompTIA A plus does emphasize and strengthen your knowledge and skills in that area. And therefore, if you are to move into cybersecurity, this level of strong knowledge that you would have from the A plus helps you to be able to better understand what is it you're protecting and why you would carry out the security task that you would need to carry out. So now we look at the CompTIA Network Plus. Now, this particular certification could have you operating in roles such as technical support or system administrator or a junior network administrator. It covers content such as the networking concepts, the implementation of networks, the continued operation of networks, network security, and troubleshooting. And you'll notice as we proceed through this certification, troubleshooting is going to be one of those things that is emphasized throughout. So the CompTIA Network Plus provides a candidate with the information not just to be looking at individual devices, but to be able to understand the protocols that allow these devices to communicate with each other. And so when it comes to security, you would then be able to recognize if a protocol is not behaving how it ought to behave, given that from here you would have had a clear understanding of how the protocols should work. You will also be able to sharpen your skills in identifying areas that are troublesome and be able to provide the necessary corrective measures to ensure that the network is operating smoothly. So going to the part now of if you are looking to use your current experience and knowledge gained from a course like this and a certification like this, how that could align with moving into cybersecurity. And as I mentioned, having understood how the protocols work and how the devices work, you are now able to translate that into what is it you would need to do to protect these devices and the network and the protocols involved. The next certification that is included in the cybersecurity bachelor's program is CompTIA's Security Plus. Now, this is the first certification within CompTIA's offering that is security specific. The prior two certifications, though they would look at security, but it was not the primary area of those certifications. This particular one now, the CompTIA Security Plus, is strictly around the security. It is considered a fundamental security certification in that it will cover a wide range of security concepts and practices, while not taking you to the full depths, because the additional certifications we will look at later will take care of the depth. The CompTIA Security Plus will look at areas such as general security concepts, threats, vulnerabilities, and the mitigation procedures for those, security architecture, security operations, and lastly, security program management and oversight. So this is where, as you move into security, you get a clear understanding as to what being a part of the security task force means. And you get to begin to see the different facets of cybersecurity and could potentially start to identify where you would want to be. The other three certifications that are a part of the program or cybersecurity analyst, the pen test, and security X. So the cybersecurity analyst begins to specialize in a particular area in cybersecurity. In this case, we are looking at someone playing the role of what in the cybersecurity arena is called the blue team. So these persons are the defenders of the network security or the assets security. So in this certification, areas that you would zero in on would be things like incident response and vulnerability management, reporting and communication. Here, you would look at things like threat modeling, which is you would be able to make an assessment of your network and say, what if the network is currently breached and we are not yet aware? How could we use the tools at hand to analyze the network to determine if there is a breach? So by participating in this certification and the course that would cover this content, one becomes keenly aware of looking at seemingly innocuous information that seems quite harmless, and be able to peer into that to determine if there's any harmful underlying content that one would need to begin to address. Next, we look at the CompTIA pen test. This is where you begin to look on the other side of security. This is what we would call the red team. So you are taking a look at security from the perspective of one who may need to do the breach, but you are playing the ethical role. You are the one who would be hired to attempt to breach a network so that you can inform the responsible parties of the network about what weaknesses exist that would have allowed you to breach that network. so that they can be remedied before the malactors discover them. In this course, you would be covering things like engagement management, reconnaissance and enumeration, vulnerability discovery and analysis, attacks and exploits, post-exploitation and lateral movement. The next certification here is our Security X. Security X was formerly called CASP, which is CompTIA's Advanced Security Practitioner. It was renamed because it is at the very top of the security offering that CompTIA has. And the X there indicates that overall understanding at the highest level within an organization. One of the unique thing about this particular certification is that it is not treating the individual pursuing this as a purely management personnel. This is someone who has the capacity to function at the management level, but is still highly technical and is performing security engineering tasks. Concepts that would be covered in this certification are security architecture, governance, risk, and compliance. These are tasks and areas that leadership within an organization would typically be looking at, and not just security leadership. So this could be information that are being looked at from a CEO's point of view, but also from a Chief Information Security Officer's point of view. Other things that one would cover in this would be the security architecture, security engineering, and security operations. The CompTIA Security X is a certification that covers the entire spectrum of cybersecurity. So it would actually cover all of the content that is already encompassed in the other 5 certifications, well, 4 certifications, security certifications we spoke of earlier. Someone achieving this certification is then able to function at the very highest levels within an organization and be able to provide guidance to an organization in terms of how its security resources are to be deployed. And there are a few other courses I'd like to mention, though not a certification specific. But if we think of the security arena, one of the underlying and very popular OS that is always a part of cybersecurity is Linux. And this cybersecurity diploma, bachelor's program does have a course that targets one's Linux proficiency as well. There is also a course that targets the network security specialization, where this looks at the configuration of devices such as our routers and our firewalls. And with that, I want to do my wrap up And so my last slide here is the thank you for taking the time to join us today. And we look forward to seeing you as you consider enrolling in our cybersecurity bachelor's program. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer at the time designated by our moderator. Mr. Moderator, over to you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brown, for that comprehensive and in-depth look at the programs there at Vector. Right, so we've been getting the information, and I'm hoping persons are taking notes, especially of the critical areas that will help you to make the right decision moving forward as it relates to your education along this field. Now, the lone female presenter that we have here this evening, and with such, I'm gonna treat her with grace, absolute grace, right? So our final presentation for this evening will explore the career advancement and specialization, helping you to understand how cybersecurity training can be a springboard to your professional growth. So it gives me pleasure to do an introduction of Mrs. McLean Rowe, Trisha McLean Rowe, and let me get into it. So Trisha McLean Rowe is a seasoned professional with over 25 years experience in information technology, geospatial technology implementation, policy development, education, and training. A passionate advocate for lifelong learning, she actively promotes technical and vocational education and training as a catalyst for social equity, inclusion, and sustainable development. Mrs. McLean Rowe, TVET's journey continued at Vector Technology Institute, where she was the sole female, just like this evening, in the diploma in computer repairs program. She graduated as the valedictorian and received the Most Outstanding Student Award, a testament to her dedication and pioneering spirit. Today, she proudly serves as a member of the advisory board here at Vector Technology Institute, where she continues to champion TVET and mentor the next generation of professionals. So her academic achievements span a diverse and impressive range, including a Master's of Law in IT and Telecommunications Law and Policy, a Master's of Art in Teaching, a postgraduate diploma in Environmental Law and Policy, as well as a bachelor's degree in Computer Science and Management. So in addition to her advisory role at Vector, Mrs. McLean Rowe serves as Secretary of the Commonwealth Scholarship Alumni Association of Jamaica and is a dedicated Commonwealth mentor and national mentor. She is a proud recipient of the prestigious 2015 Commonwealth Scholarship in Distance Learning. Her professional contributions have supported major national initiatives, right? Particularly in geospatial technology and disaster management. Her work continues to shape Jamaica's technological and educational landscape through innovation and policy guidance, as well as strategic implementation. So beyond her professional accomplishments, Trisha is a wife, mother, and avid animal rescuer. She embraces a well-rounded lifestyle, balancing her leadership roles with her love for the outdoors as an enthusiastic participant in the Jamaica's historic dragon boat racing. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mrs. McLean Rowe. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Andre. That was good. I'd like to share my screen. Let me.
You can go ahead.
All right. Tell me what you're seeing on Okay. Mm, okay. All right. So good evening again. I'm here to reaffirm how Vector can shape your career pathway in cybersecurity through its degree program and certification, and provide you with the necessary foundation on which to build your career. So we will be looking at career growth in cybersecurity, relevance, industry relevance, the role of the degree, and certification benefits. Now, every time you hear about scams, ransomware, or data breaches, you know that there is some form of cyber attack or cyber attack attempt that's taking place, and it's happening somewhere in the world. And our island is included in that. The thing is, the frequency of these incidents are on the increase. There was one such incident which was recently reported of a business which had gotten an email that their bank information for their supplier in China had been changed. Now, they thought this email was real. And so after they had completed a transfer of 180,000 US dollars, they then found out that their system had been hacked. There's another instance where a company manager received what he perceived as an authorization email from his CEO to transfer approximately 14 million TT dollars to external accounts. Again, it was only after the transfer was completed that they found out that the CEO did not send that email. And what had happened was that their system had been hacked. So it is therefore imperative that banks and financial institutions take steps to have the most advanced cyber protection to prevent hacking. Now, why are these examples important? These examples and many others which you heard earlier highlight the need for cybersecurity experts. And it is also why cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing careers globally. And that is no different here in Jamaica, where our banks or schools, BPOs, government entities, just to name a few, are all seeking skilled individuals to safeguard systems and data. Cybercrime, and you'd have heard Mr. Daly mention it, is costing the world trillions, of dollars annually. And he had also mentioned that there are 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity roles. So essentially, crimes are happening and we need people to deal with these crimes. So we don't have enough skilled personnel for these available roles. What does that mean for you? It means that there is an opportunity. So opportunities exist in the cybersecurity field. Now, this specialized degree program, which is being offered by Vector, along with the relevant certifications, will provide you with the opportunity to become skilled in the cybersecurity field. Now, from day one, it was instilled in that a good foundation is a critical component for the success of anything at all that you're doing. And looking at your cybersecurity career, you need a foundation on which to build. So in other words, for you to effectively protect and secure a database, you at least need to understand how a database works. If you're going to be configuring a firewall, you need to understand the network. In that way, you will learn to understand and appreciate what you're protecting, and this will make you more viable and employable in the cybersecurity field. In addition to that, this degree will also help you to avoid blind spots because it gives you all of that information. So think of your cybersecurity career like a house. The foundation is, your networking, operating system, databases, etc. And your cybersecurity are your walls and your roof. So the stronger your foundation so the stronger your foundation is, and in this instance, your foundation would be the degree along with that cybersecurity specialization, then it is easier for you later on. Now, Vector's degree not only offers a strong academic foundation, but what it does is to help you to prepare for the CompTIA certifications that you'd have heard of previously. And with your degree and these certifications in hand, your cybersecurity career house will be well built and established because you would have gained the fundamentals in ICT as well as in cybersecurity. You would have also enhanced and developed your in-depth practical knowledge on all the aspects to include your incident detection, prevention, being able to assess cyber readiness and design appropriate solutions. Now, your banks, BPOs, just to name a few, require cybersecurity coverage 24/7. And with these enhanced skills that you will get from the degree and the certifications, you'll become more attractive. And Mr. Daly said it, you'll become more attractive and be an asset to the cybersecurity market. Research has shown as well that many of our BPOs and financial institutions already list Security Plus as a requirement for junior security roles. And we can see the reason for that. It's because it equips you with the core security skills which are necessary to safeguard networks, detect threats, and secure data. And these are necessary given everything that is happening in the cyberspace. So if you are familiar with what is going on, you would have seen recently that 2.5 billion, not million, but billion Gmail users were at risk after Google's databases were hacked. Also reported was that a Malaysian traveler was scammed by fake airport Wi-Fi. And many of us, when we go to the airports, we jump on to the Wi-Fi because it's free. But in this traveler jumping on to the fake airport Wi-Fi, it caused him to not only miss his flight to go home, but he also lost money. There was another report of a hacker, and there's so many of them, that inserted a destructive code in the Amazon Q tool as an update went live. Now, when you're hearing about all of these things, you know that skilled personnel are needed in the cybersecurity area. Plus, when you think about it, cyber attacks can bring a company and even an economy to its knees. Look at our local Data Protection Act. This is now in effect, and the organizations must not even have an option, but must register as data controllers with the Office of the Information Commissioner. What does that mean for you? It means that businesses from banks to schools are legally required to manage and protect personal data. So this law has created a new demand for cybersecurity and privacy skills here in Jamaica. It means that you have new career paths in data governance, risk management, and compliance alongside technical cyber roles. So what has the legal requirements done? It has made industry relevant career. Now, given the practicality of the degree here at Vector, you may want to do like a little setup of your home lab, to allow you to practice, to break things and then to fix them back. But most importantly, to document whatever it is that you're learning. So whether you're documenting it in a GitHub or in your blog, or even when you're having discussions, inside of your groups, you would have seen and appreciated what it is that you would have done. So you can speak to the work that you have done. Imagine you being able to say, that you resolved a cyber attack while you're pursuing this degree. So there are opportunities globally for cybersecurity talent, and this degree will give you that foundation and knowledge to become one of these skilled cybersecurity talents. Now, what are some of the cybersecurity roles? There are so many to mention, but you have cybercrime analyst, you have cybersecurity researcher, network security, junior penetration tester, cybersecurity administrator, cybersecurity compliance manager, cloud security architect, security auditor, security code auditor, and the list is unending. You have cybersecurity lecturers, cybersecurity professor, cryptographer, chief information security officer, chief privacy officer, and I could go on. You have quite a bit. So the possibilities are endless. So while pursuing your degree and your certification, as I'd mentioned previously, practicing and documenting, they're very important. But you also need to invest in developing your personal and your professional network. And the best place to start doing that is here at Vector. Vector has all the technical skills, the lecturers, very technical, and we have a vibrant alumni body from which you can seek guidance, mentorship, and also technical advice. In addition to that, you can also connect with other professionals via LinkedIn, the Jamaica Technology and Digital Alliance, and ISACO in Kingston, just to name a few. So while companies have legal requirements, we as clients who interact with these companies, we need to be aware of how our data is being protected. It is all right. So you doing this course, it gives you so much more information as to what is happening within a company. And as a client, you have a better understanding. Now, my hope is that after this session, you'll be more motivated and convicted in your career choice. And so I want to encourage you to embark on your degree with ethical conduct, integrity, and the zeal to be part of a process that improves Jamaica's cybersecurity shield. Now have a great journey, and I know our paths will cross again at some point. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. McLean-Rowe.
All right, you can stop my sharing.
Yeah, you can go ahead and stop it.
Okay.
Mhm. All right. All right, great. So, yeah, so we have, so as I was mentioning, thank you, Mrs. Rowe, for that, for those valuable insights. So, and it is also great whenever time we put together events like these and to have our students or faculties, members of the faculty rather, and our advisory board participating, that you get a wholesome view as to the institution's mandate and what we're doing to help you as prospective students and as students, right? So at this time, we're going to open the floor for your questions. So you may type the questions in the chat, or if you want, you could use the raise hand option, you'll be acknowledged. And then, of course, you know, we can post the questions to the respective speakers. So you can go ahead, any questions that you have, then of course, we'll address them. You can start. Any questions for our panelists? I did indicate that persons were supposed to have made notes of their questions, have it prepared for this period. So, okay. So we have a question from Andrew Myers. So I want to get into cybersecurity. What's the first course to do to advance into that field? So between Dr. Mar or, well, Mr. Brown, I think Mr. Brown would be able to answer this. So Andrew Myers is asking, which is the first course, or what course would be the first course that would give him that launching pad into the field of cybersecurity?
Evening again. So I guess the one of the thing I'd want to understand is what has he done so far? Has he been in the IT field, or is he just entering the IT field? So if it's a case where he's just coming into IT, then he may want to start with courses like the IT Essentials, courses that cover the A+ type content that gets him a clear understanding of what the IT industry is like and how to interact with these devices and get his troubleshooting skill up. And then after that, he could expand into networking and then start with the Security Plus content. In terms of what we have at Vector, if he wants to go into the cybersecurity bachelor's program, then that's an avenue. Of course, the registrar would do the vetting of his current credentials to determine if he can start that. But there is also the cybersecurity network, the certified network and security technicians program, which allows for persons who may not have the requisite certificates to start a bachelor's program to be able to start there, build their repertoire of understanding and certificates that could then use to launch into the cybersecurity bachelor's program or the advanced cybersecurity diploma.
Okay, great. And so one of the programs that Mr. Brown was talking about as it relates to persons without the prerequisites to enter into the bachelor's degrees, the computer technician series, which focuses on three areas. So the computer technician, the network service technician, and then of course the security service technician. So as you go along the path, well, that is a pathway that you're able to take advantage of if you do not possess the requisite credentials to enter into the bachelor's program. So that would be a pathway that you could take advantage of. So that's a computer technician series 1. So of course you would have heard the answer. So so Andrew would have made mention that he had done IT Essentials already. and he maintains computers at his church, sorry. So so that would account for, so we would have to make an assessment as to what the credentials are in an attempt to tell you what's the next move up from the IT Essentials. So usually you talk about the IT Essentials really cater to the CompTIA A+, just like what Mr. Brown was mentioning. Usually the trajectory from there would have been the Network Plus. And then of course you can start to focus on like Security Plus and those other things and so on, right? And then it will take you into there. So just like what Mr. Brown was saying. The next question is coming from Winsome Davis. So what if I already have an IT degree? Can I just do the advanced diploma in cybersecurity? Mr. Brown, I think that's you again.
The answer is yes. Usually with the advanced diploma, there is a interview process that looks at the degree credentials that prospective students already have, and that would then be able to determine if they can start the advanced diploma, and so also what level they could start at. In other words, are there any opportunities for exemption? So the short answer is yes. And they, of course, we would highly recommend you make contact with the administrative office at Vector, and the process can then be started there.
All right, great. This is another question, which I think is a question that a lot of persons tend to ask, especially when it comes on to the professional certifications. Now, Dr. Mar, maybe you can take on this one as so the question is, what if I want to do the CompTIA search only? Is that an option?
Yes, you can. You can. All right. One of the things at Vector, is that we believe in pathways, right? And everybody have a different story, and there's hardly any story that we can deal with. And the fact is that yes, if all you want to do are certifications, yes, you can go in that direction if you choose. We will always advise certain things to you, all right, because that there's the feel that and some people believe that just certifications alone is the best approach. Now, certifications are always good, right? But just you have to always remember, in time you're setting out your career path. Your career don't finish next year or the year after that or the year after that. So it's a journey, and you always have to be trying your best to figure out what is the best move. Now, for example, like if all you want to do is get a job, like right now, certifications will be a great fit. But if your situation is that you're trying to move up the ladder, then there might be an alternative to just having certifications. And this is where someone like Mr. Daly, as he said, he was a mentor. Mentors are many times good career advisors. And instead of just rushing to make a decision without any free advice at that. And we also will give you advice in terms of what we think might be better for you based on your individual circumstances and situation. All right. But as I said, we believe in pathways. So there is always a starting point. and then there's a path to get to where you want to go. All right.
Yeah, and just to back up that part, that argument, so the pathway as outlined by CompTIA, which is a very strong partner of Vector, will categorize as you go along what sort of profession or professional you are categorized as, right? So that is always there as information to back up your certs and so on. So all right, thanks, Dr. Mar. So Kelly Gordon, her question is there a fully online option for these courses? All right, so currently Vector operates basically, I can maybe say maybe 95% online, right? 95% online. So most of our courses that are on offer are available online. Now there are those courses that you require labs. So even though you have some that have like lab simulation, online lab simulations, you have some that will give you some underground experience. So even if without the underground experience in terms of coming into a working lab, you have online simulations that will satisfy that. That typically fits the real world scenarios, right? So I'm hoping that answers the question. So the aim eventually is to be a CTT plus certified individual as the career pathway. Okay, all right, great. So I enjoy the presentation. Okay, I have to go. All right, good. Thank you, Winsome, for coming. Any other questions for our panelists? Our suite of, so I would like to do the advanced diploma. I already did CCNA and a short course in cybersecurity. So the question is that with the base of the CCNA and the cybersecurity short course, you're wondering if that would grant you entry? That is what you're saying, Shane? Or is that the question that you're asking? Okay, so again, if I should really go back to what Mr. Brown was saying, your what you would have done would have to be assessed by the admin, because you see, because the advanced cybersecurity diploma is just like what it says, advanced. Of course, you either enter with some amount of credential qualifying you to the course. So this can either be based on work experience or any sort of certifications or IT knowledge or educational credentials, so to speak, that will qualify you. So that has to be assessed, of course, by the admin, including like an individual like Mr. Brown, who is a part of the curriculum asset of the program. So that has to be something. So I'm pretty sure with CCNA and some others, hopefully with your professional experience, let us see what you have, and then of course we're able to go from there, right? But I'm pretty sure, the CCNA has a good enough base, but work experience, so all right, then fine. So all you need to do, put your things together, make your application, and then of course Mr. Brown would be a part of the assessment panel to get you in. All right. Can I start the Network Plus at VTI in January, or do I have to wait until September next year? In terms of Miss Deeble, are you here? I'm not sure if Miss Deeble is here as the program's coordinator and the person that is responsible for scheduling. But off the bat, I'm not able to answer that question. However, we have been looking at a solution where persons are able to join. So even though the course that is related to the Network Plus standard certification, right? Even though that is integrated in one of our, in the programs that we have, at Vector, what we have been looking at is to see how best we could have persons join the cohort of students doing their degree that would just want to do the Network Plus content or any of the other certification content. So we're looking at that, which is a much so a viable option. So I don't think waiting until next year, I don't think it is really that far in terms of next year, September, right? So what I'll ask you to do, Andrew, please ensure that you reach out to our admin office or drop us a line. Whether it is myself, Andre Powell, even though I don't work in the admin office like that, but I'm sure to pass on the information. So the email address is apowell@adm.vti.edu.jm. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the chat. And I will have Miss Deeble reach out to you to actually get you some information.
Yeah, one of the things I just wanted to quickly mention that we are still small enough to be fairly personal and each person may have, as I said, a different story in terms of what they have done, where they are, and all of that sort of thing. And if we know where you are, what you have done, what you have, it allows us to give you the best advice in terms of when to start with and how to start and all of that. That might fit. They will most likely fit the bill. This is one of the things, as Mr. Brown had mentioned, that whole interview process, because it helps you, because our goal is to ensure that when you start, that we're not going to be exposing you in such a way that we are going to try to be ensuring that your success is the most important thing. And it does make sense. You get persons into a situation where they start to drown, right? So so the advice is always going to be in your best interest. But the first thing is to have a quick chat, and that takes place. And this is in relation to the person before, in terms of your experience, because that's something we believe we have the ability to assess and measure against what it is that you need or not need in starting a program, or where do you start, right? Because it's not hard and fixed that you must start at a prescribed place, but it is that you start at that point. That allows you to, the best point for you in terms of the best in terms of your time, the time factor, as well as the level of difficulty that you might encounter. So a good chat, in terms of the interview is always recommended.
All right. All right. So Mary Chambers Hardy, she's saying, thanks everyone. The information was informative. The presentation was informative, and I'm interested, but I have no previous IT certification or degree. I am not working in the area or in the field, but is looking for a career change and a transition from internal audit / risk analyst into cybersecurity. What would you suggest? I only have a certificate in computer information systems offered at UCC or offered by UCC. So the
You want
only
me to
thing,
answer? All right.
go ahead, Dr. Maria.
All right. So just remember that the programs, right, that you know, the beginning of the programs are based on persons who really have little or no IT, you know, knowledge or experience, right? But then, you know, you sound like you have a little more than that. So again, you know, just send your papers in, let us look at it, and then we can tell you, okay, this is where I think you can start. But you know, career, well, I don't know how old you are, but career changes, that's one of our favorite set of persons, right? You know, you might have started a career in one field, and then you suddenly realize that, you know, maybe I want to change to IT. And by the way, that's a good change. Because and by the way, just I don't want to get off track, but this is why you see when we put certifications in a program, and the benefit that you get from certifications, because I'll tell you, the first certification that you earn at Vector, you become so much more marketable. So in case that you want to, you know, earn while you are learning, it is the best vehicle that you can ever have. You know, and so, you know, as I said, let us look at what you have, and then, you know, we can always tell you where your entry point is.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Mara. Any other questions? All right, cool. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. Okay, she's expressing gratitude for that, Dr. Mar. Any other questions? All right. Okay, go ahead, Robert. You have raised the hand. Robert Thomas, go ahead. You can open your mic.
Yeah, yeah, good night. Good night.
Good night.
Yes,
Good
good
night,
night. We're
Robert.
hearing you. Yes.
Yeah, man. Where we're having so many cyber attacks, I was briefly in the computer industry. Even though my phone is going to go dead, I need to hear the answer, but I'll just give a simple thing. I remember ms.prom. So I actually remember in 99, 2000, when everybody thought the world, I did a diploma course. I've been back into the computer sector per se until when I saw this course. But I found it interesting that I remember this movie, Terminator, either one or two, where they had the robotics. And I remember man versus machine. Now, AI, from what I understand, is supposed to be a good tool, but being that we, mankind, always has various ideas, it has become a bad tool. But why have we turned it that way when it was really to just to enhance technology on the digital world? So my real question is, why are we having so many cyber attacks?
I can answer that in a philosophical way, because because and I don't want to sound as if I'm a very negative person, but mankind, I mean, just remember the technology doesn't just get up and become and do things on its own. All right. I mean, when they developed the gunpowder and gun, they didn't develop that for war. They developed it for celebration. But man, as long as there is man, and the type of um the type of species in terms of man, always, and then, you know, always looking for the negative, always, you know, they will always use the technology. So we will use the technology. There are two sides to the technology, and as other persons have talked about, you have, you know, those who will use it in a very ethical way, and then of course there's always going to be those who will try to deal with it negatively. So it's not the technology is a problem, right? But I don't really want to sound negative, but mankind is a problem.
And then you have to appreciate the fact that, you know, wherever it is the crowd gathers, there's an opportunity for malintent. You understand? So with the increase in a lot of like online activity, so just like how you see, and when we see cybersecurity, you know, this is basically like physical or any sort of security, whether it is you put up burglar bars to prevent persons from, or you put in an alarm system to prevent persons from breaching your premises, right? This is basically the same thing. You have your trek online and your activities done online, more so that a lot of money is traversing within the cyberspace. Now, wherever it is, there's money, persons are going to see it as an opportunity to do something of sorts. So it's just a matter of cybersecurity is just highfalutin, well, real world type of security, everyday security. You understand? So you will have those things because of the increased activities that are taking place online. And then the money, and then you have persons that are willing to pay for data, right? So the money aspect of it. So that is one of maybe like the broad base answer that you can say. And as Dr. Mara said, the technology is not the problem. It's just mankind and our intentions. All right. So I hope that answers it. So it's now 8:48. I think we're drawing to a close. So with that said, so as we come to a close, our session, right? I want to sincerely thank all of the speakers, Mr. Dane Daly, Mr. Jason Donaldson, Dr. Wade Marr, Mr. Brown, and Mrs. McLean Rowe for sharing their expertise and inspiring us, you know, to take that road along a pathway, career pathway that is blooming and it's going to always be here, right? IT is ever changing, is one of the best places you can be as it relates to a career choice in this time and moving forward. And of course, I want to extend a special thank you to our participants, all of our invited guests that are here tonight and participated. You know, thanks for joining us and making the decision to really and truly work towards success. So, so if you'd like more information, of course, about the cybersecurity programs or so on, I invite you guys to either call us, you know, to get the information, or to send us an email or visit our website that you can get some information. And then, of course, use the request for information option to gather any other insights that you are not able to get from the information on the websites and so on, right? This is the reason why we do information sessions like these, because we don't want to take it for granted that these platforms that we share, whether it is on the digital, on social media, or on the website, we're not taking it for granted that we're capturing everything. You understand? We want to invite you in to have a more intimate discussion centered around what we do here at Vector. So thank you. Thank you for being here tonight, and have a great evening. Stay safe online. And remember, your digital armor starts with you. Back where we started, back from the initial discussion, we are the premise on which, you know, we keep ourselves protected, our activities, our behavior. So be mindful, be safe, and take care. Have a wonderful rest of evening. And we'll see some of you guys in our program at some point. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre, and the rest of the team.
All right. Take care.
Pathway will get you there. You'll prove to employers that you are the best candidate for the job, having the skills needed to protect their organization from cyber attacks and threats. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to get from point A to point B in your cybersecurity career. You've asked for an easier way to map it out, and in this video, we've simplified that process for you. Follow this pathway and we'll guide you through the real skills and knowledge you need to get the job done, get promoted, and make a difference in the cybersecurity landscape. Not to mention, you'll also make some good money along the way. Here we go. Get your foot in the door with CompTIA Security Plus, the first step on your cybersecurity career path. Security Plus is the leading global certification that proves you have the core security skills to do the job. Things like monitoring and securing hybrid environments, or identifying